Hello, future engineers. Today we're going to be going over some drivetrain commands inside of VEX VR. So what we have done so far, we just did a simple code where we were trying to find the temperature and drive to that temperature on side of this grid map. Today we're going to go over all of these different commands. So what I want to show you is that when we were driving before, we were using this drivetrain drive for command. And it's a fantastic command, except its default velocity is 50%. We want to be able to rapid prototype. So what we're going to do is actually going to start with these two commands over here. We've got drivetrain set drive velocity 50%. That's our default. We can go to the info and we can see what actually changes when we update this. Right here, we've got, it sets the velocity for the drivetrain as implied. It takes the arguments of velocity and percentage. And then we go into the how to use that we can set that velocity value between 0 and 100. So we can't set it to 200 and just make it boom. Wish we could. And then it also has examples down at the bottom over here. So let's make this go faster. First, we're going to do a control. We're going to see how long it takes us to go up 3 boxes. I was a little late right there, so we'll say about 2.7. So now in theory, this should make it go twice as fast. I'm gonna grab my set drive velocity. I'm gonna put it before drive forward because we want to set our velocity before we drive. We're gonna set that up to 100. We're gonna hit start. Boom, 1.6. So that was, yeah, just about, whatchamacallit, twice as fast, took half as long. So there we go. All right, cool. The next one that we want to use is set turn velocity. So I'm going to also put this one up forward. And the one turn that we have done so far, we have used our drivetrain turn for command. So I'm going to throw that back in here. After we drive forward, we're going to turn 90 degrees to the right. And then we're going to drive forward again for that 600. Cool. So now when we go, it turns, we do another 600, and then we stop. Let's make a square, but inside of the square, what we're going to do is we are going to turn right in 4 different ways. So what we've got 3 different turn commands, or 4 different turn commands. We've got drivetrain turn right, which is just a standard turn right command, defaults to 90 degrees. Then we've got turn right for 90 degrees. This one, direction, allows us to change whether or not we're turning right or left, change the value of 0 all the way up to 360, but then you can start doing circles too if you wanted to, and then making sure that it stays in degrees. Then we also have turn to heading, which is the direction of which way it's going. So we'll say if it's going at 0 degrees, we can say turn to 90 degrees, and it will change that. It takes an argument between 0 and 359.99 because 0 is both 360 and 0 at the same time. And then we also turn to rotation, and this is taking that default of wherever we're heading and then adding or subtracting from that. So let's see how we can manipulate that. First, in my code, I have set my drive and my turn to a velocity of 100. Now I'm going to drive forward for 600, then I'm going to turn right. I'm going to grab this turn right command over here, and we're going to see what happens when I hit play. It goes. Oh, it's just continuing to turn right non-stop. So what we need is to have a command. So we are going to go and throw in our drivetrain stop, and then we can drive forward again. But let's see what happens when we hit that stop right there. Nope. It started to turn and then it stopped immediately. So we're going to need to throw in something extra with this turn right command, and that's going to be inside of our control functions, and we're going to have to wait for the amount of time that it's going to take us to turn. So I am going to throw that in here. We're going to see how long 1 second will get us. Whoop. That got us all the way around. So really about half a second should be good. So we'll do 0.5. And let's start this up. Cool, it turns. We wait and it turns, perfect. Cool. So now that we've stopped the drivetrain, we want to start it up again. So we're going to grab that forward 600. We're gonna go and we're gonna drive forward. And now let's use our next turn, which is turn to heading 90 degrees. All right, we're gonna keep that as default right now, and then we'll change some values after we see what it does. So right now, it goes, it turns, whoop, it went the wrong direction. So what kind of arguments does the turn to heading take? It turned 90 degrees, but now it was going downwards, which means that from its perspective, 90 degrees was really the opposite for us. So it takes those arguments 0 to 359.99. So what I can do is change this to go to the other direction. So we're going to turn to 180. Or not 180, 270. 270. I want to start that up and see how it goes. Cool. There we go. And we've got it. Cool. So now we just need to throw in another forward. All right. And now we're going to use our last turn. And I know that we're going to go a square and an extra length, but we're going to turn to rotation. We're going to keep that at 90 right now, and we're going to see what happens. Cool. So we turn again. We go and we turn again. And then we go and we turn the wrong way. But you see it turned to 90 based on always having 0 up here, 90 over here, 180 over here, and then, or 270 over here and 180 over here. So we want it to go to 0. So we're going to turn our rotation to 0. And now when we run this, we should get that wonderful square. It turned to 0. It went the wrong way around, but it did. It went the long way around. So those are all different ways that we can use turns, and this is one to illustrate that there's a lot of different commands inside of the drivetrain, but also there's a lot of different ways to tackle one problem. So I hope that you enjoyed that tutorial and that helped you out. There's a lot of information that's coming at you, so please make sure that you're taking the time to play around and explore with all these commands so that it feels less overwhelming when we get to allowing you to do like your own projects and whatever you want to do. All right. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.